We have a plan.
5 years.
All right, we all have our assignments. Tuesday.
I don't have time to debate.
Case. Well, jurisdiction.
Medic! Medic!
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a quick slice. Tell my family I love them. Damn you. I don't much care.
See you on the other side, man.
Okay, Thor, hit me. I knew it. Very, very much. Is that everyone?
You have the little one.
Cap! No!
Help.
You need to get that thing working?
It's dead.
Where's Ned?
Grit!
You will.
I got it!
Just do it!
Okay, I don't got this. Help! Somebody! Got you, kid.
Something just entered the upper atmosphere.
Don't worry.
You used them 2 days ago.
Killed me. Take it off! No, wait, Bruce, are you okay? I'm okay.
Hey guys, today we're diving deep into the monumental cinematic event that is Avengers Endgame, the culmination of over a decade of storytelling and frankly, emotional trauma for many of us. We kick off exactly where Infinity War left us, in the aftermath of Thanos' devastating snap. The silence after the dust settles is deafening. We first glimpse the raw, personal anguish through Clint Barton, Hawkeye, who's innocently teaching his daughter archery when his entire family dissolves before his eyes. It's a gut punch, setting the somber, heavy tone for what's to come, reminding us that no one, not even the superheroes, was spared the grief. This isn't just about cosmic battles. It's about the very human cost of monumental loss. Before you head off, if you're enjoying the kind of content I make, please consider liking and subscribing. No pressure, but it truly helps me keep the action coming. Meanwhile, far out in the cold, unforgiving vacuum of space, Tony Stark and Nebula are adrift on the Benatar, critically low on oxygen and food. Tony, ever the pragmatist with a flair for the dramatic, is using his helmet to record a final, heartbreaking message for Pepper Potts. He recounts his unlikely survival and expresses his deep love, his voice cracking with exhaustion and despair. The sound of his labored breathing, punctuated by the ship's warning beeps, really drives home the dire situation. Nebula, stoic and quiet, offers a rare moment of camaraderie by attempting to play paper football with him. A small, touching gesture amidst their impending doom. Just as Tony loses consciousness, clinging to the faint hope of a rescue that feels impossible, a blinding light pierces through the darkness. It's Captain Marvel, glowing with cosmic energy, arriving like a superhero deus ex machina to pluck them from the jaws of oblivion. The whoosh of her flight and the sudden rush of air as she stabilizes the ship offer a powerful auditory contrast to the earlier silence of despair. Truly a moment of pure relief and cinematic power. Talk about a close call. Back on Earth, Tony is barely clinging to life, laid out in the Avengers compound. The reunion with his remaining teammates is bittersweet. A stark reminder of who's gone. He's understandably furious and disillusioned, lashing out at Captain America, blaming him for the team's fractured state and the ultimate defeat. The bitterness in his voice is palpable, each word loaded with the weight of 5 million lives. This isn't the snarky Tony we know. This is a man who's been to hell and back, utterly broken. Bruce Banner, now more smart Hulk, and rocking a slightly uncomfortably fitted sweater, tries to keep the peace. Amidst the tension and raw grief, Captain Marvel arrives with a crucial lead. She's found Thanos. The revelation cuts through the despair like a sharp blade. Rocket Raccoon confirms the energy signature on a remote planet, echoing the snap from Earth, suggesting Thanos used the stones again. The immediate shift in the room's atmosphere, from mourning to a desperate, focused determination, is almost electric. Hope, however fragile, starts to flicker. Driven by a burning desire for retribution and a desperate hope to undo the damage, the remaining Avengers launch themselves into space, heading straight for Thanos' garden. They find him, not in a fortress but a humble hut cooking some space stew. He's clearly injured, his arm still scarred and damaged from the gauntlet. The clash is swift and brutal, fueled by their anger. Bruce restrains him. Captain Marvel slams him through the hut, and the sound of the structural timber splintering under her force is just fantastic. They demand to know where the stones are. Thanos, with a chilling calmness, reveals he used the stones to destroy the stones, effectively eliminating any chance of reversing the snap. The realization hits the Avengers like a physical blow. The metallic clatter of the gauntlet, now melted and useless, confirms his chilling confession. The air fills with a collective gasp of disbelief and despair. The utter silence in the room as they process this impossible truth is more impactful than any explosion. Thor, consumed by a rage that has been simmering for weeks, lets out a guttural roar, grabs Stormbreaker, and with a horrifying, sickening thud, decapitates Thanos. "I went for the head," he mutters, but the victory feels hollow, empty, and utterly devastating. What a twist, right? Just when you thought they had a chance. 5 years later, the world is a different, much quieter and emptier place. Cities like New York are eerily silent, the vibrant hum of life replaced by a mournful stillness. Billions are gone, and humanity is just trying to pick up the pieces. We see Captain America leading a support group, offering solace and guidance to those struggling to move on. His calm, empathetic voice provides a stark contrast to the despair around him, even as his own grief weighs heavily. He encourages them to find new meaning, to embrace what's left, but you can feel the quiet desperation under his words. Meanwhile, Natasha Romanoff, ever the Sentinel, tirelessly monitors the remaining Avengers, clinging to the faint hope of finding a way back. Her quiet strength and unwavering dedication are the glue holding their fractured team together. We catch a glimpse of Nebula, living quietly with the Avengers, her journey from villain to grieving survivor evident in her softer demeanor. The somber piano score that permeates these scenes perfectly captures the profound sense of loss and the quiet struggle of survival. It's a slow burn, letting the enormity of the tragedy sink in, rather than throwing us immediately into more action. And honestly, it works, hitting you right in the feels without a single punch being thrown. Just as things seem completely bleak, a flicker of cosmic energy ignites in a storage facility. Scott Lang, Ant-Man, reappears from the quantum realm. For him, only 5 hours have passed, not 5 years. The sheer disorientation in his voice, the confused questions about what happened, instantly shifts the tone. He's dropped into a world he doesn't recognize, and the crunch of leaves under his feet as he wanders through a desolate suburban street feels strangely out of place. He's desperate to find his daughter Cassie, only to discover she's now a teenager, a whole 5 years older. The emotional impact of that revelation, the time he's lost, is palpable. His panicked calls, the desperation in his voice perfectly convey his shock. He's quickly brought to the Avengers compound, where his excited, rapid-fire explanation of the quantum realm's weirdness, time works differently there, offers a glimmer of hope. The team, initially skeptical, slowly starts to grasp the implications. Could this be it? Could this be the loophole they've been waiting for? The click of the projector as he shows his quantum calculations feels like the starting gun for their next big adventure, and frankly, we needed it. Scott, with the infectious enthusiasm of a golden retriever who just discovered fetch, pitches his theory of time travel through the quantum realm to Steve, Natasha, and Bruce. The click-clack of his whiteboard marker as he diagrams the possibilities really sets the scene. They're intrigued, but they know there's only one person who can actually make this work: Tony Stark. Natasha and Steve make the pilgrimage to Tony's beautiful lakeside home. The quiet serenity of his life with Pepper and their daughter, Morgan, is a stark contrast to the chaos they inhabit. Tony, looking genuinely happy, firmly rejects their plea. His voice, once full of bravado, now carries the weight of a protective father. He fears losing what he has gained, the precious moments with his family. The thought of messing with time and risking Morgan's existence is a heavy burden, a crushing no to their desperate plea. You can almost feel the hesitation in his usually decisive posture. He's torn between his past heroism and his present domestic bliss, a very real, very human struggle that grounds his character. The metallic creak of his porch swing as he sits alone afterward underscores his internal conflict. He's a man caught between two worlds. Later that night, the 5 years later Tony we just met can't sleep. The numbers, the possibilities, the faces of those lost, it all gnaws at him. He tinkers, and in classic Tony fashion, he cracks the code. He figures out how to make time travel work, not just hypothetically, but practically. The rapid tapping of his keyboard and the low hum of his workbench are the soundtrack to genius at work. The next morning, he arrives at the Avengers compound, not with a fanfare, but with a palpable sense of renewed purpose. He throws a miniature working time machine at Captain America with a satisfying thud. "I got it," he says, a wry smile playing on his lips, though his voice still carries the weight of the decision. He's carefully balanced the risks, found a way to minimize the potential for paradoxes, because, wouldn't want to accidentally create a timeline where you don't exist. He agrees to help, but only if they promise to bring back everyone. It's a beautifully quiet moment of commitment, a hero accepting his call to duty once more, not for glory, but for redemption. The faint whirring of the device he just dropped foreshadows the massive journey they're about to undertake, and it's a moment that makes you punch the air and say, "He's back!" First stop for recruitment, finding Smart Hulk, or as I like to call him, Professor Hulk. Turns out, during the 5 years, Bruce Banner finally merged his two halves, gaining the brawn of Hulk and keeping his genius intellect. He's now a celebrity, taking selfies with fans and charming children, a truly delightful, albeit slightly odd sight. His calm, gravelly voice, a mix of Banner's thoughtfulness and Hulk's rumble, explains how he's found inner peace. His presence provides the brains and the muscle, a much-needed asset for their impossible mission. Next, they journey to New Asgard, now a bustling fishing village in Norway, filled with Asgardian refugees. The salty sea air and the distant cry of gulls set a melancholic tone. And there he is, Thor. But this isn't the god of thunder we knew. He's gained significant weight, sporting a tangled beard, and spending his days drinking beer and playing video games. The sight of his broken, depressed state is genuinely heartbreaking. His voice, once booming with command, is now soft, slurred, and riddled with self-blame. Korg and Meek are still his loyal companions, but even their attempts at levity can't lift his spirits. It's a powerful, raw depiction of grief and PTSD, showing that even gods aren't immune to mental health struggles. The clinking of beer bottles and the sad plunk of his keyboard as he plays Fortnite truly paint the picture of a hero who's lost his way, which is honestly super relatable for anyone who's ever lost a Fortnite match. The team assembles. With Professor Hulk, a still reluctant Thor, Rocket, Nebula, War Machine, and Ant-Man all on board, the Avengers compound buzzes with a nervous energy. The clang of metal and whirring of tech as they finalize preparations fill the air. Tony, ever the engineer, presents their solution: PIM particles and wrist-mounted GPS devices for precision jumps. The new white, sleek quantum realm suits are unveiled, symbolizing their unified purpose and a fresh start. Captain America delivers a powerful, rallying speech, reminding them of their fallen comrades and the stakes at hand. His voice, steady and resonant, cuts through the tension, inspiring them to face the impossible. The plan is simple, yet incredibly complex. Retrieve the Infinity Stones from different points in time, bring them back, and use them to undo the snap. The rules are strict. No interactions with past selves. No altering timelines beyond retrieving the stones. The crackle of static as they sync their communicators underscores the gravity of their mission. As they step onto the quantum platform, a quiet determination settles over them. The whoosh of the platform activating, the flickering lights, and the final going in 3, 2, 1 from Hulk create a tense, exhilarating moment. This is it. The greatest heist in history is about to begin. It's like Ocean's 11, but with more interdimensional travel and significantly less George Clooney. First stop, New York City, 2012, right in the middle of the first Avengers movie's climactic battle. What could go wrong? Tony and Scott are tasked with retrieving the Tesseract, which holds the Space Stone. Meanwhile, Steve and Smart Hulk are after the Mind Stone, housed within Loki's scepter. Tony's past self, still rocking the slightly unhinged bravado, gets into a confrontation with present Tony, leading to some awkward, "Wait, are you me?" Moments. The metallic clang of their armor as they awkwardly try to avoid interaction is hilarious. Bruce, attempting to act like his past, enraged self, unleashes a rather unconvincing roar and smashes a taxi, but it's clear his heart and anger aren't in it. It's all a bit of a comedic masterclass. The plan for the Tesseract goes sideways when past Hulk, in a fit of rage, knocks over Tony, causing the Tesseract to slide right into Loki's opportunistic grasp. Loki, with a mischievous smirk, uses it to vanish, creating a branching timeline where he escapes. The sudden whoosh of the Tesseract powering up, and Loki's maniacal laugh echoing through the mayhem signal, a major hiccup in their meticulously planned heist. Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Just when you thought you had a handle on things, Loki's like, nope. With the Tesseract gone, Tony and Steve are forced to improvise. They decide to jump to an earlier point in time, 1970, to retrieve a fresh batch of Pym particles and another Tesseract from S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. But first, Steve has a rather unique encounter. While trying to secure the Mind Stone, he runs into his past self, still dressed in that slightly questionable America's ass suit. The ensuing fight is a brilliant piece of choreography, a battle of agility and sheer determination. The satisfying thud of S.H.I.E.L.D. hitting S.H.I.E.L.D. echoes through the deserted Stark Tower, as present Cap, knowing all of past Cap's moves, easily gains the upper hand. "I can do this all day," past Cap declares, only to be promptly put to sleep with a swift, sarcastic jab of the scepter. "Yeah, I know." It's a fantastic meta moment, packed with both action and humor. This confrontation highlights how much Steve has grown, not just physically, but in his understanding of the world. It's not just brawn, it's experience and cunning. The subtle clink of the Mind Stone being secured afterwards feels like a small victory amidst their New York blunders, signaling they're still in the game, despite the unexpected detours. Next up, Morag 2014, where the Power Stone resides inside the orb. Rhodey and Nebula are on this mission, and they arrive just in time to see Peter Quill, Star-Lord himself, doing his classic dance and sing routine to Come and Get Your Love. The faint, upbeat music playing from Quill's headphones creates a lighthearted, almost surreal atmosphere. Rhodey watches with a mixture of confusion and amusement, a classic Rhodey moment. They manage to intercept the orb just before Quill, grabbing the Power Stone with surprising ease. The glowing purple energy of the stone pulsates ominously in the orb, a visual reminder of its immense power. However, a major snag occurs. Nebula's cybernetic implants, linked across time and space, accidentally connect with her past self. This causes a painful, high-pitched screech of feedback, exposing their presence to past Thanos and his forces. It's a chilling moment, the sudden shift from smooth operation to impending doom. The frantic beeping of her malfunctioning tech heralds a cascade of consequences, reminding us that time travel is rarely a clean operation. The mission is technically a success, but the seeds of future disaster have been sown, and frankly, I was already clenching my jaw. Then, we go to Vormir 2014, the desolate, crimson-hued planet where the Soul Stone is hidden. Clint Barton and Natasha Romanoff arrive, their bond as old friends and partners radiating even through the screen. They encounter the spectral figure of Red Skull, the Stonekeeper, who chillingly explains the impossible price, a soul for a soul. The wind whipping across the barren peak, carrying the Red Skull's haunting words, really sets the grim tone. What follows is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the entire saga. Both Natasha and Clint, in a desperate act of self-sacrifice for their friends and the universe, fight to be the one to die. The raw emotion in their voices, the desperate pleas for the other to live, are truly gut-wrenching. The scuff of their boots on the rocky cliff edge, the desperate grabs, the "no, you have a family." It's also incredibly raw. In a final, heartbreaking moment, Natasha lunges, throwing herself from the cliff, sacrificing herself so Clint can return with the Soul Stone. The sickening thud of her impact, thankfully muffled by the distance, is implied, but the look of agony on Clint's face, the desperate cries of "Natasha," are all we need to hear. He's left alone, clutching the glowing orange Soul Stone, utterly shattered. It's a tragic, selfless act, and a permanent loss that reverberates through the rest of the film. Grab the tissues, folks, because that one hits hard. Every single time. Our final destination for a stone, Asgard 2013. During the events of Thor, the Dark World. Thor and Rocket are on a mission to extract the Reality Stone, or the Ether, from Jane Foster. This is a tough one for Thor, forcing him to confront his younger, more arrogant self and the memory of his mother, Frigga, who is still alive in this timeline. The booming thunder of Asgard and the grand architecture are a stark contrast to his current depressed state. Rocket, with his typical bluntness, encourages Thor to embrace his past strength. In a beautifully poignant scene, Thor has a quiet, emotional moment with his mother, who offers him words of wisdom and comfort, reminding him of his true self. The gentle comfort in her voice is a balm to his broken spirit. Then, in a moment that sent chills down everyone's spine, Thor tries to summon Mjolnir, his old hammer. The expectant silence is broken by a triumphant thwack as it flies into his hand, confirming he's still worthy. The sheer joy and relief on his face, the booming laughter, is a powerful turning point for his character, reminding him that he's still the god of thunder, even if he looks like a Lebowski cosplayer. Rocket, always the opportunist, extracts the ether from Jane with a rather unsettling slurping sound. Mission accomplished for this duo, and a much-needed dose of confidence for our troubled thunder god. All the teams successfully return to the present with the Infinity Stones. The combined power of the stones now sits in a new gauntlet, ready for use. But the victory is short-lived. Remember past Nebula's accidental connection? Well, it turns out past Thanos used that to his advantage. He swapped past Nebula with present Nebula, using her as a Trojan horse. The metallic clink of their implants sinking as Thanos downloads her future memories is truly chilling. Past Nebula, cold and loyal to Thanos, activates the time platform, allowing past Thanos and his entire warship, the Sanctuary 2, to jump to the present day. The sudden, earth-shattering rumble of the ship materializing above the Avengers compound is deafening, signaling the arrival of their greatest enemy. The immediate shift from quiet relief to utter panic is palpable. The realization that their meticulously planned time heist has inadvertently brought Thanos right to their doorstep is a devastating blow. The very thing they tried to prevent, he's now here for, and he's not alone. It's like inviting a small mouse into your house, only to realize that mouse is actually a giant purple genocidal cat with a spaceship. Smooth move, team! With Thanos' ship hovering menacingly, the Avengers know time is running out. They need to use the stones. Professor Hulk, being the only one strong enough to withstand the immense power, volunteers. He dons Tony's specially designed nano gauntlet, the stones glowing with overwhelming energy. The strain on his face is excruciating, his muscles bulging, the sounds of his agonizing grunts filling the room. With a monumental effort and a single agonizing snap, he brings everyone back. The triumphant return of the dusted heroes isn't shown yet, but the emotional release of that moment, the silent hope, is powerful. However, the gamma radiation from the stone severely damages Hulk's arm, scarring him permanently. Before they can even process their victory, Thanos, now in the present, unleashes his full wrath. His warship fires relentlessly, raining down devastating energy blasts that obliterate the Avengers compound. The concussive blast, the crumbling concrete, the shriek of twisting metal, it's pure, unadulterated chaos. The ground shakes, the compound collapses, trapping many of the heroes beneath tons of rubble. It's a truly terrifying display of Thanos' power, a brutal reminder that even after all this, the fight isn't over. The sound of their collapsing base is almost as heartbreaking as the snap itself, because now they're really in a bad spot. Emerging from the dust and rubble of the demolished compound, Captain America finds himself face to face with Thanos and his entire army. It's a truly iconic, chilling moment. The air crackles with tension. Thanos, seated on a throne of debris, calmly reiterates his genocidal plans, his deep, resonant voice echoing through the ruins. Cap, battered and bruised, picks himself up. He tightens his shield straps, his stance defiant, even against impossible odds. The silence before the storm is heavy, broken only by the shifting weight of Thanos' army. Thanos sends his army charging, their monstrous roars ripping through the air. Cap stands alone, a solitary figure of unwavering courage. The sound of his shield hitting the ground, then springing back into his hand, is almost like a battle cry. He's ready to die defending what's left. The first few aliens rush him, and with a grunt of determination, he fights back. The metallic clang of his shield against alien armor, a fierce declaration of resistance. It's a truly hopeless situation, an epic last stand, but Cap's resolve never wavers. You can almost feel the sheer weight of responsibility on his shoulders, and it's a moment that just screams hero. Just as Captain America is about to be completely overwhelmed, a familiar voice crackles in his earpiece. "On your left! It's Sam Wilson, Falcon!" And then, the most glorious moment. Portals begin to open, not just one, but dozens, radiating with the golden energy of the sling rings. The low hum and crackle of these portals announcing themselves sent shivers down my spine. Out of them pour the entire resurrected army of heroes. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Wakandan army, the Masters of the Mystic Arts. Even Giant Man makes a surprise appearance. The ground shakes with the thunder of their collective arrival, an auditory explosion of hope. Captain America, tears in his eyes, finally utters the iconic phrase we've waited a decade for: Avengers assemble. The roar of the heroes, the clatter of weapons, the sheer joy and determination on their faces, it's an absolute emotional explosion. This isn't just a battle, it's the universe fighting back, a symphony of vengeance and redemption. The sound of 1,000 footsteps charging, the whoosh of Iron Man's flight, the crackle of magic, it's pure, unadulterated cinematic bliss. Seriously, if you didn't get goosebumps here, you might be a robot, or past Thanos. And so the greatest battle in cinematic history commences. The sheer scale is breathtaking. It's an absolute cacophony of sound. The metallic clang of Mjolnir hitting Thanos' sword, the whizzing of Spider-Man's web shooters, the booming explosions of Iron Man's repulsor blasts. Every hero gets their moment to shine. Doctor Strange and the Masters of the Mystic Arts create dazzling force fields and portals, twisting the battlefield to their advantage. The Wakandan forces, led by King T'Challa, charge with a primal scream, their vibranium shields absorbing and redirecting energy blasts. Giant Man emerges, stomping through the battlefield with earth-shattering thuds, taking out alien leviathans with a single swing. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, fueled by a righteous fury over Vision's death, unleashes devastating magic, almost tearing Thanos apart single-handedly. Her enraged screams and the crackle of her crimson energy are terrifyingly powerful. The sheer impact of her attacks makes you realize just how formidable she is. It's a symphony of superpowers, a beautiful, chaotic dance of destruction against the forces of tyranny. You can feel the ground shaking with every blow, the air vibrating with energy. This isn't just a fight, it's an all-out brawl for the very existence of reality, and frankly, I was exhausted just watching it, just when it seems Thanos' forces are too overwhelming. A blazing streak of light tears through the sky. Captain Marvel! Her arrival is nothing short of glorious. She flies straight through Thanos' warship, literally tearing it apart with her cosmic energy. The colossal boom of the ship exploding is followed by the rain of debris, momentarily clearing the battlefield and turning the tide. The heroes rally, now focusing on one critical objective, getting the Nano Gauntlet with all 6 Infinity Stones to the Quantum Tunnel. What follows is an exhilarating relay race across the chaotic battlefield. Spider-Man, with his lightning-fast reflexes and web-slinging acrobatics, takes possession first, protecting it with all his might. The frantic thwip-thwip of his webs is a constant sound as he dodges and weaves. Black Panther leaps in to carry it, his vibranium suit absorbing blows, followed by Captain Marvel effortlessly flying through the fray. The clanging of the gauntlet against her arm as she catches it adds to the urgency. Every hero, every ounce of their strength, is focused on this single vital mission, protecting the gauntlet from Thanos, who is relentlessly pursuing it. The stakes are higher than ever, and the tension is absolutely unbearable. It's like the most high-stakes game of hot potato ever, except the potato could end the universe. Finally, the gauntlet falls into Thanos' hands. He smiles, a terrifying, confident grin, ready to perform his genocidal snap once more. But in a brilliant split-second move, Tony Stark intercepts, stealing the stones right off Thanos' gauntlet, incorporating them into his own nanosuit. The sudden, high-pitched zap of the stones transferring is subtle but critical. Thanos, realizing what has happened, lets out a roar of rage, but it's too late. Tony, already glowing with the destructive power of the Infinity Stones, looks Thanos directly in the eye, and with a voice filled with both defiance and immense pain, utters his iconic line, "I am Iron Man." The words hang in the air, a fitting bookend to his journey. With a final agonizing snap, Tony sacrifices himself. The overwhelming rush of cosmic energy, the sound of the snap itself is almost deafening, immediately followed by an eerie, profound silence. Thanos and his entire army turn to dust, just as his victims once did. Tony collapses, the immense power too much for any human to bear. The soft whirring of his dying arc reactor, the labored, rattling breaths, and the absolute silence from the stunned heroes make his final moments utterly heartbreaking. It's the ultimate sacrifice, the true cost of victory. And honestly, it still stings, doesn't it? The battle is won, but at an immeasurable cost. The world mourns its greatest defender, Tony Stark. His funeral is a quiet, somber affair by the lake, a stark contrast to the explosive life he led. Every surviving hero, ally, and friend is there, their faces etched with grief. The gentle lapping of the water against the shore and the quiet rustle of leaves create a profoundly peaceful, yet heartbreaking atmosphere. Pepper Potts, Morgan, Happy Hogan, Thor, Captain America, Bruce Banner, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, the Guardians, Doctor Strange, the Wakandans, everyone stands united in their sorrow. The sheer number of familiar faces, each touched by Tony in their own way, underscores his vast impact. Rhodey gently pats Peter Parker's shoulder, a silent gesture of shared loss. The silence is punctuated only by the distant cries of gulls, amplifying the raw emotion. It's not just a hero they're burying, it's an era. The slow, sweeping shots of each face, each grappling with their own pain, really drive home the weight of the moment. We see that even after saving the universe, the personal cost is immense. No dramatic speeches, no explosions, just a quiet, respectful farewell to the man who truly was Iron Man. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful scenes in the whole movie, perfectly capturing the gravity of the sacrifice. With Tony laid to rest, there's one last task. Captain America needs to return the Infinity Stones to their proper places in the timeline, preventing any paradoxical repercussions. Bruce and Sam see him off, the hum of the time machine whirring as he prepares for his final solo mission. The unspoken understanding between them, the quiet goodbyes, speak volumes. He promises to be back in 5 seconds, but he doesn't return. Minutes stretch into agonizing suspense, the soft thud of a discarded time GPS device the only sign of his departure. Bruce and Sam, worried, scan the horizon, their faces a mixture of fear and confusion. Then, in a truly poignant reveal, they spot an elderly man sitting quietly on a nearby bench, holding Captain America's shield. It's Steve Rogers, but aged, living out his life in the past with Peggy Carter, finding the peace and love he always deserved. His voice, raspy with age, confirms his journey. The passing of his iconic vibranium shield to Sam Wilson the Falcon is a symbolic transfer of legacy. The metallic clang of the shield as Sam takes it feels like a heavy torch being passed. It's a beautiful, bittersweet ending for Cap, a culmination of his journey from a scrawny kid to a legendary hero who finally got his dance. It really closes his arc perfectly, even if it does make you question the logistics of time travel. But hey, if Cap's happy, I'm happy. And so, with the quiet passing of the shield, we close the chapter on this incredible saga. Sam Wilson, stepping into the formidable shoes of Captain America, represents a new beginning, a testament to the idea that heroism isn't just about super strength, but about courage, conviction, and standing up for what's right, no matter the cost. The film leaves us with a sense of profound change, but also enduring hope. The sacrifices made by Tony and Natasha remind us of the immense personal cost of such power and responsibility, but also the boundless capacity for love and selflessness within humanity. It's a thoughtful reflection on what it means to be a hero, not just to wield incredible powers, but to inspire, to lead, and to make the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. The journey through Endgame is more than just a superhero movie. It's a powerful narrative about grief, resilience, and the enduring strength of unity. It leaves us with the feeling that while things will never be the same, the world and its heroes will always find a way forward, carrying the torch of those who came before them. Thank you for joining me on this incredible recap. Remember to keep fighting the good fight, in whatever form that takes.